Honourable members, Madam Speaker.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in infinite wisdom and prudential goodness have appointed of leaders of parliaments for the welfare of certain and just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with the abundant favor these your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to perform such important trust in this land. Let your blessings send upon whom you assembled and granted may as in your presence, to it and consider all matter that shall come under the deliberation, is so just and faithful manner to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to your church.
Item 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I want to welcome you to this afternoon sitting. And I also want to welcome you from recess. Welcome back. As we embark on this third session, I just want to give you a kind of reminder that we only have 2 years. That we only have 2 years, and we must work towards a people-centered parliament, and you also have to work towards coming back to parliament. 2 years. And we can assure you of our unwavering support as parliament to ensure that you're all here. You're a very beautiful team. We love you so much. Honorable members, in line with my undertaking during the State of Nation address and the budget speech, we agreed regular attendance and participation, both in the House and committee. And based on that, we are making sure that the biometric finger login are working. And next week, we will be publishing the attendance and performance of the last session. We do accountability to our people. We are here to represent the so many people outside there, and we should be accountable for whatever we do in this house. I also want to inform the business committee that we are about to form, that we shall be having a meeting on Friday at 10 a.m. in the conference hall. So the business committee is duly informed that there will be a meeting for us to discuss the business of the session. Honorable members, we are going to before we broke off, I got a resignation letter from the chairperson of PAC, local government, that is Honorable Mapendusi. He has resigned from being the chairperson of the Committee of Public Accounts, local government, and We acknowledge his resignation and accept it. However, he has reports to present. He should be able to present those reports because those are the reports of the House, not his. He should present those reports much as he has resigned, and we'll let him go to wherever he wants to go. And the resignation is effective. And I will put a question that those in favor of his resignation say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, you don't force somebody to be where he doesn't want to be. So you let him go. Honorable members, on rather third note, on Saturday, we woke up with very bad news of the killings of about 43 students in Kasese. That was in Impondwe, that were allegedly killed by ADF. That was a very tragic occurrence. It opens up the scars of the previous tragedies that have happened. In 1998, there was Kichwamba Technical Institute in Kabarole, where students were banned. In 1988, in 1991, there was abduction of students from Sacred Heart in Gulu. 1996, there was also an abduction of girls from Aboke, that is in Oyam. We want sincerely to condole with the families, the bereaved families, and management of the school, the people of Kasese, all the people of Uganda. And we want to condemn this loss in the strongest terms. And such acts should be very unproductive, should be investigated, and the perpetrators should be brought to book. It's a very, very bad instance. Just imagine you're killing your kid, you're killing your son, you're killing your grandkid. You wake up from nowhere, you think your kid is at school, and you just get the news that your kid has been killed. It's a very bad incidence. I want to call upon the Minister of State for Higher Education, who was at site, to come and give us a statement on what his findings are and what government is planning to do. And also the Minister of Internal Affairs was also there. I'm happy the Prime Minister also is in the house. They should be able to give us a statement on what happened and what we are planning to do as government. Honorable members, on Saturday 17th, again, 2023, we received tragic news of the demise of late Justice Stella Arach Amoko, the Justice of Supreme Court. The deceased had an illustrious career as a judicial officer. We want to condole with the family, judiciary, the people of West Nile, and all the people of Uganda. Please accept our condolence for the loss of this very industrious lady. On behalf of Parliament, we sincerely want to convey our condolence to the families of the children who died, to judiciary, and to all the people of Uganda. And time to die. But it should be, you should die in a way that is acceptable. Not a way that the children were killed. But we put all that in God's hands, and may their souls rest in eternal peace. May we please rise and observe a moment of silence in their honor.
May their souls rest in eternal peace.
Honorable members, ICT, what's happening? There's a lot of echo. Honorable members, on 29th May, His Excellency the President returned the National Sports Bill 2023 for reconsideration by Parliament. And that is pursuant to Article 91(3)(b) of the Constitution. In furtherance to Rule 143 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I hereby now read the letter as it came. The letter is dated 17th May 2023, written to Right Honorable Anita Mong, Speaker to Parliament. Reference is National Sports Bill 2023. I have received the National Sports Bill 2023 for assent. I have been advised that there are provisions that need to be reviewed in order to facilitate the proper regulation of the sports sector as listed below. 1, Section 2. There is need to define the term representatives. 2, Section 32, Board of National Council of Sports. 3, Section 32(2) provides that the board shall consist of the following members. A representative from the Ministry of Resources, a representative of regions of Uganda, one of whom shall be a person with a disability. C, a representative of National Sports Association or National Sports Federation. D, a representative of athletics. E, a person with experience in sports administration. That is 32(2). Section 32(2) still should be amended to provide as follows. A National Council of Sports shall have a board of 7 members, which shall be by the governing board of the council. 2, the board consists of the chairperson and other 6 members. A representative of a ministry responsible for sports. B, 2 representatives from any traditional regions of Uganda. C, a representative of National Sports Association or National Sports Federations. D, a representative of the athletics. E, a representative of the private sector, and a person with experience in sports administration. Number 3, a member of the board referred to in subsection 2 shall be a person with the knowledge and experience in sports administration. 4, a minister shall appoint members of the board taking in consideration the following. 1, the interests of the sports sector. 2, the shareholders of the sports sector. 3, persons with a disability. 4, gender balance. The justification of the proposed amendment is the need to have a small board that will not put the financial constraint on government resources. The same has been done to other government agencies and authorities. It will also ease the decision-making of the institution. Section 75. Section 75.1 provides that the land on which the public sports facilities are established and public sports facilities thereon shall vest in the council. There is need to make provisions for the schedule for sports facilities that will be vested in the council, specifying the location of the sports facility, the acreage, the current registered proprietor or proprietors of the sports facilities. The procedure for vesting the property in the council should be provided for. 5, Schedule 2, national sports discipline recognized at the commencement of the act. Whereas the National Council of Sports has 51 recognized national sports federations, the list in Schedule 2 provides for 15 national federations or associations. In addition, kickboxing provided for under the schedule is no longer a recognized sport by the council and should therefore be deleted. Archery should be added into the schedule as it is recognized by the National Council of Sports. Therefore, in accordance with the Article 913B of the Constitution, 1995, I am hereby turning the bill to Parliament for the consideration of the clauses that have been mentioned above, signed by Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Accordingly, this has been referred to Committee of Education, and they should work on it and report back to the House immediately. Honorable members, you will allow me to amend the order paper and accommodate the laying of the parliamentary pension access for midterm benefits. That is Regulation 2023. Remember, we passed the law, but we do not have the regulations in place. And I will ask the chairperson to bring the amendment, to bring the regulations and lay on table so that you can be able to access your midterm money, so that you're able to know how you should do it. You don't suffer when you have your own money in the pension. The regulations are ready. They stipulate the terms and the conditions, and the chairperson of the board is going to present it. Chairperson, could you first lay that before we go to, I know you have a procedure, but I want them laid first.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, in accordance with Rule 31 and 32, the rules of procedure of Parliament, I beg to lay for approval of the Parliamentary Pensions Access to Midterm Benefits Regulations 2023. You remember very well, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, that in 2022, Parliament amended the Parliamentary Pensions Act 2007 to introduce, among other matters, provisions on midterm access to members of to their benefits. Right Honorable Speaker, Section 13A of the Parliamentary Pensions Act grants members and staff of the Parliamentary Commission midterm access to benefit accrued from the contributions. Midterm access allows a member to access a portion of his or her scheme credit and to utilize the same before he or she retires. The principle of midterm access, Right Honorable Speaker, is necessary to cater for unexpected challenges in life of a member who may need to utilize some of his or her scheme credit before he or she retires. Section 13A of the Parliamentary Pensions Act restricts access to midterm contributions, to midterm benefits to the scheme for at least 10 years of age and above, and has made contributions to the scheme for at least 15 years.
Just lay the document and we shall look at it. All these people can read and understand whatever.
Right Honorable Speaker, I thought I needed to explain to them. But since they know the justification,
we pass the law and we know what is in our law.
allow me therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, and member lay on table regulation on midterm access. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Honorable members. Honorable members in the public gallery, we have very beautiful kids up there from Sapolo Kagwa Primary School. You're most welcome and thank you for coming. This is your parliament and these beautiful kids are from Kampala Central here, and they are represented by Honorable Kasbe Bashir and Honorable Shamim Malende. You're most welcome. And you're very smart. Honorable members in the public gallery this afternoon, we have the Muslim leaders from Kagoma County, Jinja District. They are represented by Honorable Waliomu and Honorable Katali. You're most welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Assalamu alaikum. So what are you standing for? I have, on my communication, I first asked the minister, the prime minister, I want a statement, a brief, a symposium of what happened in Kasese. I know all of you want to talk about Kasese. Let's first get to know what happened. Let's not just talk from the blue. The prime minister is in the house. Prime Minister. Honorable members, we need to debate from an informed point of view.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, we all know what happened in Kasese, a regrettable incident, and the government is going to present a report or a statement through the Minister of Education. This was the school. Is he here? Is he here?
Yes, a procedural issue. Then we allow the minister give us a report and we debate on it.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. And allow me a second before I raise the procedure issue to thank you. There are things that we take for granted. Thank you for keeping time. This parliament used to start at 5. And in Uganda, timekeeping is very difficult. There is someone who said he will be a president for 5 years. It is now 40. Madam Speaker, I know the procedure issue I am raising. I know our president is a president of advanced age. That's why sometimes he has asked other government officials to act, including those who are suspects. The procedure issue I am raising, since I need to address the speaker. Madam Speaker, the procedure issue I am raising, the law does not stop the president from delegating. But issues of security and defense are very serious matters. We have passed here a budget. We have also passed here policies that are not overseen by the wife of the president. You can't run this country in that way, where your wife says, darling, can I be the one to speak about the attack in Kasese? Okay, baby, go ahead. This matter, we need the minister responsible for defense. We passed money here and gave it to defense to defend Uganda's borders. The Honorable Jesse Muyungo is a very obedient and loyal person. Even what he shouldn't do, he wants to do. I don't know what he was doing in the Kasese at the scene of a crime.
It was in a school. It was in a school. Honorable members, Honorable Semuju is raising a very serious issue. And we have a report tomorrow from defense. Defense, we will not discuss anything. Let's get a report from defense. Okay? Yeah, let's not gamble.
See, if you appoint people like my brother, I come from Masaka, the Honorable Sempiji.
I thought I've ruled.
No, I was raising a procedure.
No, you first sit.
Madam Speaker, I really want to thank you. Madam Speaker, I rose on the procedural matter.
Honorable Alan, you're most welcome.
Madam Speaker, in your submission today, I want to and our mandate effectively very well. Madam Speaker, I don't know whether we are proceeding well by the Prime Minister not having to give a statement concerning the standoff between the government, between the opposition, oversight work at hospitals, because we see it is bringing a pull and push. Moreover, we are the same people in the same house. And Madam Speaker, at the same time, as you echoed about Parliament being people-centered, we had a State of National Address, and we had the budget speech. And in all these very important events, members of parliaments are elected people who are elected by the people. But I did not see my friend, the presiding apostle, the whip of opposition, Nambeshe, and his people. I don't know whether we are proceeding well by seeing them here when there was a standoff by them not appearing in the budget speech and the State of the National Address. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
When when you are at that level of mental health, even your eyes become blind. Me, I saw opposition. If you didn't see, me, I saw them. And there was no gap. Was there any gap? Nothing. So there is no problem with it. Members, I want us to start serious business. All of you sit. I want us to start serious business. And before we start serious business, I first want committees to be designated. I want designation to take place. And I also want asked the government whips, government whip and opposition plus independent to do the designation before we go into anything else.
Designation of members to sectoral committees pursuant to Rule 1871 of the Rules of Procedure.
Honorable members, Rule 1871 of the Rules of Procedure prescribes that there shall be a sectoral committee of the House whose members shall be designated by the whips of political parties, organizations represented in the House, and that is inclusive of independents at the beginning of every session of Parliament. The constitution of the sectoral committees is therefore a precondition for a timely commencement of work by sectoral committees. Rule 1510 of the Rules of Procedure will now require the whips to designate their members to the sectoral committees. This designation will be guided by Rule 188 of the Rules of Procedure. We will begin with the National Resistance Party, be followed by opposition, then independents. The designation will be done for each and every committee by the whips, and then it will be put to question. If you're not comfortable, you don't allow. Government Chief Whip.
Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues.
Honorable Government Chief Whip, can you just read the name of the committee, then you read the names.
The Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries.
Right, Honorable Speaker, in conformity with the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I beg to designate the following to the leadership and membership of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. Honorable Okorimoe Janet Grace, Chairperson. Honorable Auma Linda Agnes, Deputy Chairperson. The members are Honorable Briwaro Jennifer, Honorable Magola Rachel, Honorable Christina Kello, Honorable Mbayo Esther, Honorable Biraro Ibrahim, Honorable Migade Robert Ndugwa, Honorable Anywa Ricky Richard, Honorable Muhumuza David, Honorable Okulu Abuka Anthony, Honorable Kagwera Stephen, Honorable Achen Dorcas, Honorable Aliek Judith, Honorable Iseno Anthony Alden, Honorable Loki John Baptist, Honorable Mary Begumisa, Honorable Nyongore Enoch, Honorable Komol Joseph Midi, Honorable Lematia John, Honorable Angora Frederick. I beg to designate.
Honorable members, I put a question that the sector committee on agriculture, animal industry and fisheries be constituted as proposed. Those in favor sign the contrary nay. There is a bit. From NRM.
Of our rules of procedure of Parliament of Uganda, I hereby designate the following members on the Sectoral Committee of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. The Honorable Abedi Wanika, the Honorable Mugabe Susan Uvuma, the Honorable Chebakutika Manjeri, Jinja City, the Honorable Matovu Charles, Busiro South, the Honorable Nanyondo Veronica, Ukomansimbi, the Honorable Nachimuli Helen, Kalungu West. Oh yes, Karangara. Sorry for the slip. The Honorable Apollo Stella Isodo, Nora District. The Honorable Kanya Joffrey, Tororo North. Honorable Kwago John Paul M. Chotera. Honorable Akora Maxwell, Pole North. And lastly, the Honorable Okot Santa, Aru North. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Whip. Independence.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to Rule 187, Sub-Rule 2, Paragraph A, to the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, the Right Honorable Speaker delegates members as follows. Honorable Obong Vincent Shedrick of Lira West Division, Lira City. The Honorable Namtawe Joan, Bukoto Central, Masaka District. Honorable Mukasa Julius Opondo, Bujumba County, Kalangala District. Honorable Auma Linda Agnes, District Woman Representative, Lira. Honorable Tusime Julius Karuhanga, Rampara East Constituency in Rampara. And the Honorable Twesije Nathan Itungo, Kashari South Constituency, Mbarara District, the Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Honorable members, we made amendment on the number of members of the committee. As you're aware, we have grown from over which number to 529. That is now the number we have. The whips, you'll need to go back and reconcile. You'll need to go back afterwards and reconcile, and then bring the names that you'll have removed from which committee to the other for redesignation. But for now, we are going to designate the members. And why you hear Linda's name read twice, she's an independent who is a vice chairperson. I'm the dean of independence, so my member is a vice. Honorable members, I put a question that the sector committee on agriculture, animal industry and fisheries be constituted as read by the whip of NRM, opposition and independence. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs.
Whip,
Right Honorable Speaker, under Rule 1871 of the Rules of Procedure, I beg to designate the following to the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs. Honorable Wilson Kajwenge, Chairperson. Honorable Ngompek Linos, Deputy Chairperson. Honorable Lubega Bashir Sempa, Member. Honorable Wakoli Godfrey, Member. Honorable Keyo Peter, Member. Honorable Nakwang Christine Tubo, Member. Honorable
honorable
Polot Simon
members,
Peter,
can I have silence?
Honorable Polot Simon Peter Okwalinga, Member. Honorable Sechikubo Theodore, Member. Honorable Choto Ibrahim Mululi, Member. Honorable Kahuma Sauda, Member. Honorable Alex Neon Shaba, Member. Honorable Mugabe Kahonda, Member. Honorable Ochero Norman, Member. Honorable Chintu Alex Brandon, Member. Honorable Loki Peter Abraham, Member. Honorable Nyamutoro Fiona, Member. Honorable Yoweri Sebikali, Member. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Whip, no opposition?
Madam Speaker, pursuant to Rule 1871, I designate the following on the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs. The Honorable Katabas Francis Katongole, Kalungu East. The Honorable Kiwanuka Abdallah, Mukono County North. The Honorable Namboze Betty Bachireke, Mukono Municipality. The Honorable Namanya Nabos, Ruvabo. The Honorable Okot Moses Jr. Bititek, Kyoga. The Honorable Olanya Gilubat, Laka South. The Honorable Odur Jonathan, Erute South. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. Independence?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to Rule 1871 and 2, paragraph I, to the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs, the Right Honorable Speaker designates the following members. Honorable Lamoaka Margaret of Chua East, Kitgum District. Honorable Manuel of Dodoth East County in Kabong District. Honorable Arinaitwe Rauben of Isingiro West, Isingiro District. Honorable Museveni William, Buekula South, Mobende District. The Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Thank you. I put a question that the Secretary on Internal Affairs be constituted as proposed. Those in favor say under control. And the ayes have it.
The Committee on East African Community Affairs.
Whip,
Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Rule 1871 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I beg to designate the following to the Committee on East African Community Affairs. Honorable Kisembo Basemera
as a
Noili,
procedure matter. But Honorable Semuju, when people are serious, you get up on procedure. You're interrupting.
Madam Speaker, I am looking at Rule 160, 187.
By the way, the UPDF, they didn't inform me they would share the delayed, but she's coming to designate. She arrived? You have the list? You have? Please do. After is, do you have somebody in defense?
Madam Speaker, the procedure issue I'm raising relates to Rule 160 and 187. This rule provides for how members are designated to committees. They are designated by whips on behalf of parties and the speaker in the case of independence. It does not provide for designation of UPDF, both rules. I think the rule assumes that UPDF should be in Kasese defending people, not in parliament. So, Madam Speaker, can I be advised under which rule did the UPDF sit and even appointed someone a dean, and that dean parades him or herself before a parliament to begin reading names? Because under 160, it is parties through whips and independents through the speaker. Under 187, it is again parties and independents. So can the UPDF tell us who are supposed to be in Kasese by these rules? Under which rule are they going to designate themselves?
I want to refer you to Rule 1886. The party or organization in government shall designate a chairperson or deputy chairperson of each sectoral committee, provided that no active member of Uganda People's Defense Force shall be designated as a chairperson or deputy chairperson of the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs. It's common sense. Yes, UPDF. First designate on agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, in accordance to Rule 187, Sub-Rule 1 and 2 of our Rules of Procedure, I beg to designate Honorable Major General Sam Kavuma in the Committee of Agriculture, Animal Industry, and Fisheries. I beg to designate.
Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it. Defense.
Madam Speaker, in the same rule, allow me present Honorable Lieutenant General Peter Elwelo.
Thank you very much, Madam
in
Speaker.
the Committee
Just hold on.
of Defense and Internal Affairs. I beg to designate.
Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Madam
Yes.
Speaker, I hear the government whip and the chief whip quoted specific rules under which members are being designated. I know, Madam Speaker, and with the humility, you may, and I'm sorry, you may want to help UPDF, but I think they should make it easy for you. Either they first get out and then we find a way, because the rule, Madam Speaker, you have quoted only stops appointing them chair and vice chair, but it does not provide for their designation.
Honorable Subani, you know, how did you bring the UPDF to the House?
Thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, let us perhaps help each other by seeking refuge in Rule 8 of our Rules of Procedure. Right Honorable Speaker, this House has set a precedent in as far as designating members of UPDF. And what has been happening, Right Honorable Speaker, in the previous parliaments is that designation by the UPDF has been under
the discretion and guidance of the Speaker. What has not happened, and which we should do, Right Honorable Speaker, is to regularize the mode of designation and our rules. Otherwise, there is a precedent. And what is happening here is that a precedent has been set. Unfortunately, the Rules Committee has not codified that precedent under our rules of procedure. So, Right Honorable Speaker, going forward to avoid this imbroglio that the Honorable Semuju is highlighting, I seek your indulgence to have the Rules Committee, in considering amendments to these rules, to have the mode of designation structured in our rules to avoid what we are witnessing here. Otherwise, a precedent has been set, and as a parliament, we have an obligation to follow that precedent. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Is UPDF an organization represented in the House? Is it an organization represented in the House? Anyway, let's designate UPDF. We are designating UPDF, and in the next amendments, we'll make amendments specific to what the Honorable Semuju is talking about. In the absence of that, I will exercise my powers as a speaker. Next, under Rule 8.
The Committee on East African Community Affairs.
Committee of what?
East African
Affairs.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move under Rule 1871 of the Rules of Procedure to designate the following members to the Committee on East African Community Affairs. Honorable Kisembo Basemera Noelin, Chairperson. Honorable Chemaswet Kisos Abdi Fadil, Deputy Chairperson. The members proposed are Honorable Atuto Jacinta, Honorable Kahunde Ellen, Honorable Wakikona David, Honorable Wanyama Michael Odwori, Honorable Sejoba Isaac, Honorable Pius Wakabi, Honorable Kamokama Davis, Honorable Robiron Tassis, Honorable Akamporira Prosi, Honorable Chobe Luke, Honorable Masika Apollo, Honorable Baino Mugisha Jane, Honorable Kwizera Paul, Honorable Onzima Godfrey. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Position.
Pursuant to Rule 1871, I beg to designate the following members on the East African Community Affairs Committee. The Honorable Mukasa Aloysius Paluton, Rubaga South. The Honorable Nsubuka Paul, Usiro North. And the Honorable Ekudo Tom Julius, Query.
Thank you.
I beg to designate.
Thank you. Independence.
Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Rule 187 and Sub-Rule 1 and 2, Paragraph O, and to the Committee to the East African Community, the Right Honorable Speaker designates the following members. Honorable Ahmed Agnes, District Woman Representative Butebo. Honorable Nakato Mary Annette, District Woman Representative Buyende. Honorable Were Godfrey Odero, Samia Bugwe South, Busia District. Honorable Waliomu Mwanika Moses, Kagoma County, Jinja District. Honorable Wamala Florence Nambozo, Sironko, a woman representative, Sironko District. And the Honorable Nyangweso Dennis, Samia Bugwe Central, Busia District. The Right Honorable Speaker designates.
UPDF.
Right Honorable Speaker, in accordance to Rule 187, Sub Rule 1, no member of Uganda People's Defense Force has been designated in the East African Affairs Committee. Thank you.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sector Committee on East African Community Affairs be constituted as proposed. Those in favor sign the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Education and Sports.
Let's be faster.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate the following members to the Committee on Education and Sports. Honorable Tracy J. John Ntamuhira, Chairperson. Honorable Kubeketeria James, Deputy Chairperson. Honorable Ndezi Alex, Member. Honorable Lokwang Phillips Eluko, Member. Honorable Achon Julius Bua, Member. Honorable Asimwe Moli Musime, Member. Honorable Timuzigo Kamugisha Michael, Member. Honorable Nyakato Dorothy, Member. Honorable Tibashima Joram Ruranga, Member. Honorable Katusime Anet Mugisha, Member. Honorable Mutumba Abdu, Member. Honorable Sibo Agnes, Member. Honorable Linda Irene, Member. Honorable Paparo Lilian Obiale, Member. Honorable Etuka Isaac, Member. Honorable Ismail Muhammad Lomoar, Member. Honorable Edson Rugumayo, Member. Honorable Bingi Patrick Nyanzi, Member. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Opposition.
Madam Speaker, in accordance with Rule 187, Sub-Rule 1, I beg to designate the following members on the Committee on Education and Sports. The Honorable Nabukenya Brenda, a woman member, Luero District. The Honorable Seungu Joseph Wonzaga, Kalungu West. The Honorable Nsamba Patrick Oshabe, Kasanda North. The Honorable Kakembo Michael, Entebbe Municipality. The Honorable Ongorithio Emmanuel Jonam, and the Honorable Onguzuli Dennis Maracha. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Independence.
Rule 187, 1 and 2, paragraph D, to the Committee on Education and Sports. The Right Honorable Speaker designates the following members. Honorable Macho Geoffrey, Busia Municipality, Busia District. Honorable Makoha Margaret, Woman Representative, Namayingo District. Honorable Nakayenze Koni Galiwango, Woman Representative, Mbale City. Honorable Subi Kinyamatama Juliet K, Woman Representative, Rakai District. Honorable Akugizibwe Aled Ronald, Buruli County, Masindi District. Honorable Onen Charles, Laro Peche Division, Gulu City. And Honorable Aogon Silas, Kumi Municipality, Kumi District. The Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Thank you. UPDF.
Right Honorable Speaker, in accordance to Rule 187 of our Rules of Procedure, allow me, I beg to repeat.
Can
Right
you just
Honorable Speaker,
just designate? Spread me the names.
allow me present Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Jennifer Alanyo as designated in Education Committee. I beg to submit.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sector Committee on Education and Sports be constituted as proposed. Those in favor sign the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
Honorable members, listen. Whip.
Right Honorable Speaker, I propose to designate the following to the Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Honorable Kankunda Amos, Chairperson. Honorable Avod Jane Pachuto, Deputy Chairperson. The proposed members are Honorable Ochai Maximus, Honorable Mbabazi Jennifer Chomohendo, Honorable Nangoli Gerald, Honorable Wanda Richard, Honorable Katreshije Olivia Koye Chenga, Honorable Taibwa Abad, Honorable Aleper Moses, Honorable Kinshaba Patient Nkunda, Honorable Opolot Patrick Eshiagi, Honorable Katali Joy, Honorable Katali Loy, Honorable Nakut Faith Loru, Honorable Bataringaya Basil Rankene, Honorable Choma Xavier, Honorable Okot John Amos, Honorable Mudimi Ignatius Wamakuyu, Honorable Ogwal Moses Goli, Honorable Asimwe K. Enos, Honorable Agnes Atim Apea, Honorable Dixon Katashumbwa, Honorable Dr. Kugonza Emily. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Opposition.
Madam Speaker, on the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, I beg to designate the following members. The Honorable Nabukela Hanifa, Mukono District. The Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, Butambala County. The Honorable Senyonyi Joel, Nakawa West. The Honorable Navagave Flavia, Kasanda District. The Honorable Nandala Mafavi Nathan, Udadiri West. The Honorable Akolo Anthony, Ilaka North. The Honorable Tamaguzi Semagula Pike, Nakaseke Municipality. And the Honorable Ochan Patrick, Apache Municipality. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Independence.
To the Committee on Finance, Right Honorable Speaker, the following members are designated. Honorable Omara Paul, Otuke County, Otuke. Honorable Masaba Karim, Industrial Division, Mbale City. And the Honorable Mpindi Bumali, people with the PWD representative. I beg to designate.
Thank you, UPDF.
To the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Madam Speaker, no member of Uganda People's Defense Force has been designated.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sectoral Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development be constituted as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Foreign Affairs.
Foreign Affairs, Whip.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to propose the following members to the Committee on Foreign Affairs. Honorable Nora Dijira, Chairperson. Honorable Fred Polot, Deputy Chairperson. The proposed members are Honorable Maneno Zumura, Honorable Achan Judith Peace, Honorable Natukunda Medias, Honorable Kayogera Yonda, Honorable Stephen Kisa, Honorable Isamat Abraham, Honorable Okot Boniface Henry, Honorable Asim Suleiman, Honorable Mutebi Noah Wanzala, Honorable Robert Rukari Mwesigwa, Honorable Mutono Patrick Lodoi, Honorable Jennifer Abaho Muhesi, Honorable Atima Jackson Lee Buti, Honorable Okot Ogong Felix, Honorable Milton Muuma. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Position.
Honorable Speaker, on the Committee of Foreign Affairs, I designate the following membership. The Honorable Nkunyinji Muada, Chad on the East. The Honorable Sewanyana Alan, Makindye West. The Honorable Serubula Stephen, Lugazi Municipality. The Honorable Okin PP Ojara, Chua West. The Honorable Akelo Lucy, Amuru. The Honorable Lumu Richard, Mitiana South. And the Honorable Kai Bob, Kwania North. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Independence.
187, 1 and 2, paragraph K, Committee to Foreign Affairs. The Right Honorable Speaker designates the Honorable Ocheng Peter of Kole South in Kole District, Honorable Komakech Christopher of Aru County in Padere District, Honorable Achiro Paskamenya, District Woman Representative Padere, Honorable Atugonza Alan, Bulisa County, Bulisa District, Honorable Mosherure Shatsi Nayebare Kutesa, Maogola North County, Sembable District. The Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Thank you. UPDF.
Right Honorable Speaker, to the Committee of Foreign Affairs, no member of UPDF has been designated. Thank you.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sectoral Committee on Foreign Affairs be constituted as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Gender, Labor and Social Development.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to propose the following through designation to the Committee on Gender, Labor and Social Development. Honorable Kabahenda Harris Rwabuhoro, Chairperson. Honorable Najuma Sara, Deputy Chairperson. The proposed members are Honorable Peggy Joy Wako, Honorable Chitanywa Sowedi, Honorable Dr. Simwe Florence Akiki, Honorable Charles Bakabulindi, Honorable Rwakajara Arinaitwe, Honorable Afoyechan Esther, Honorable Natumanya Flora, Honorable Kunuhira Faith, Honorable Kamara John, Honorable Chemonges William, Honorable Chemotai Phyllis, Honorable Wakoraj Simon Peter, Honorable Taban Sharifa, Honorable Atrachire Catherine, Honorable Alioni York Odria, Honorable Rosemary Nyachikongoro, Honorable Lochap Peter Ken. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Position.
Right Honorable Speaker, on the Committee on Gender, Labor and Social Development, the following are the members I'm designating. The Honorable Kabuye Frank, Kasanda South, the Honorable Kiaga Hirare, Maokota North, the Honorable Mayanja Alan, Nakaseke Central, the Honorable Businje Joab, Masindi Municipality, the Honorable Muhindo Harold, Ukonzo East, and the Honorable Nantongo Fortunate, Chotara District. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Independence.
187, 1 and 2, paragraph E, Committee on Gender, Labor and Social Development. The Right Honorable Speaker designate the following members. Honorable Abeja Susan Jolly, District Women Representative Otuke. Honorable Rabushaija Margaret Namobiru, Workers Representative, and the Honorable Kayanga Baroda, Kamuli Municipality, Kamuli District. The Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Thank you. Ame.
To the Committee of Gender, Labor and Social Development, Madam Speaker, Uganda People's Defense Force has not designated any member. I beg to submit.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sectoral Committee on Gender, Labor and Social Development be constituted as proposed. Those in favor sign the contrary and nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Health.
Health.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate the following to the Committee on Health. Honorable Dr. Charles Ayume, Chairperson. Honorable Dr. Opio Achuti Samuel, Deputy Chairperson. Honorable Bebona Babunji Josephine, Member. Honorable Lakers Sharon Balmoy, Member. Honorable Isaac Otimgiu, Member. Honorable Nebanda Andiro Florence, Member. Honorable Hope Grania Nakazibwe, Member. Honorable Joseph Ruyonga, Member. Honorable Irene Muloni, Member. Honorable Sarah Netalesire Kayagi, Member. Honorable Elisa Rutahigwa, Member. Honorable Margaret Ayebare, Member. Honorable Kesande Grace B, Member. Honorable Dr. George Didi Boka, Member. Klein Beatty, Member. Honorable Bernard Chiria Sechanzi, Member. Honorable Nakatu Mary Annette, Member. Honorable John Paul Ninkushima, Member.
Nakato is a double.
From this list and leave it to the Dean. That was an error of omission. Honorable John Paul Ninkushima, Honorable Boaz Kasirabo Ninshima. Right Honorable Speaker, to designate.
Thank you. Opposition.
Madam Speaker, on the Committee on Health, the following membership I designate. The Honorable Dr. Nandagire Christine N. from Bukoma Simbi North. The Honorable Dr. Kagabo. The Honorable Dr. Kamara Nicholas, Kavale Municipality. The Honorable Dr. Vatua.
Yes, proceed. Yeah.
Madam Speaker, the Honorable Kagawo, in person, transferring himself, and he said now he's a member of MOK, is no longer a member of NUP. It is even taped. So the procedure issue I'm raising is whether the chief opposition whip has powers to designate members of MOK. Order.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. First of all, number two, you're one of my best friends, but we don't belong to the same party, but we work together. Okay? So the whip to designate his member, that is his member. He was voted under NOP and is a NOP member. Go ahead and designate your member.
Madam Speaker, I had already, so I resume from where I stopped.
You resume from him.
Okay, the Honorable Dr. Kagabo Twahamuze, Bukoto South. The Honorable Francis Zake, Michana Municipality. A similar round of applause. The Honorable Dr. Kamara Nicholas, Kavale Municipality. the Honorable Dr. Vatua Timothy Ginger West, the Honorable Dr. Lulume Vaiga Michael, Uikwe South, and the Honorable Auma Kenny, district woman, representative of Ukwania. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. We, independents.
Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Rule 187, 1 and 2, and paragraph C, the Right Honorable Speaker designates the following members to the Committee on Health. Call a North, call a district. Is my
He's being
independent.
designated because he's
I
my
am
member.
designating my members. I know my members. Opia Cutie
Don't
is my
sell,
member.
don't sell speaker's members. That is my member of independent.
He was only being mentioned because he's leading a committee now, for which we are grateful, by the way. Okay, I'll repeat. Honorable Opio Samuel Acuti, Kole North, Kole District. Honorable Zawede Victorious, District Woman Representative Nakasongola District. Honorable Muhai Miriam, District Woman Representative Mbale. The Honorable Nantaba Aida Erios, Woman Representative Kayunga District. The Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Thank you. UPDF.
Right Honorable Speaker, in accordance to Rule 187, Sub-Rule 1 and 2 of our Rule of Procedure, I beg to designate Honorable Colonel Dr. Victoria Nekesa in the Committee of Health. I beg to designate.
Thank you. Honorable Layo, when you're coming to designate, just read for us the names. We understand the rules. I put a question that the Sectoral Committee on Health be constituted as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Information, Communication, Technology, and National Guidance.
Members, order.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate the following to the Committee on Information, Technology, and National Guidance. Honorable Engineer Magogo Moses Asim, Chairperson. Honorable Tony Ayo, Deputy Chairperson. Honorable Kambale Ferigo, Member. Honorable Lole, Honorable Anne-Mary Tumwine, Member. Honorable Nulu Biamokama, Member. Honorable Mutiwa Geoffrey Eric, Member. Honorable Chelangat Solomon Alinga, Member. Honorable Barnabas Tinka, Member. Honorable Engineer Abigaba Cuthbert Mirembe, Member. Honorable Eloto Cosmas, Member. Honorable Cherokut Rose Emma, Member. Honorable Leku Joel, Member. Honorable Biyika Lawrence Songa, Member. Honorable Ezama Siraj Brahan, Member.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Opposition.
Honorable Speaker, on the Committee of Information, Communication, and National Guidance, I beg to designate the following honorable members. The Honorable Vagala Joyce, Mitiana District, the Honorable Namuga Goreti, Maogola South, the Honorable Kazibwe Bashir Bazira, Kawempe South, the Honorable Serukenya David, Makindya Sava Gabo Municipality, and the Honorable Kabugo Florence, Kasese District. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Independence.
To the Committee on ICT and National Guidance, Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Kiza Kenneth Nyendwoha of Bujenje County, Masindi, Honorable Musa Noah of Koboko North, Koboko, Honorable Nsereko Mohammed of Kampala Central, Kampala, the Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Thank you. EPDF.
Right Honorable Speaker, to the Committee of ICT and National Guidance, I beg to designate Honorable Brigadier General Charity Bainababo to that committee. I beg to submit.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sectoral Committee on Information, Communication, Technology, and National Guidance be constituted as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate the following to the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. Honorable Robina Rwakojo Gureme, Chairperson. Honorable Mutembuli Yusuf, Deputy Chairperson. The proposed members are Honorable Nkwasibwe Henry, Honorable Werike Peter Christopher, Honorable Alex Bierogaba, Honorable Fox Odoi Oyelowo, Honorable John Taylor, Honorable Kamusime Caroline, Honorable Achayo Juliet, Honorable Okiro Bosco, Honorable Oseko Richard, Honorable Aniko Okia Joan, Honorable Baka Mugabi, Honorable Solomon Silwany, Honorable Yonda Musinguzi, Honorable Achia Remegio, Honorable Lagen David. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Opposition.
On the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, I beg to designate the following members. The Honorable Malende Shamim, Kampala. The Honorable Lubega Medad Segona, Usiro East. The Honorable Sechitoreko Robert, Bamunanika County. The Honorable Semuju Ibrahim Nganda, Kira Municipality. The Honorable Adake Anne Ebachu, Soroti City. The Ebachu. The Honorable Alum Sandra O, Oyam District. The Honorable Asuman Vasalirwa from Vujiri Municipality. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Independence.
To the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Niwagaba Wilfred of Ndora East, Kabale, the Honorable Katuntu Abdu, Bugweri County, Bugweri District, and the Honorable Zijan David Livingstone, Butembe County, Jinja District. I beg to designate.
Thank you. Ame.
To the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Right Honorable Speaker, allow me present Honorable Lieutenant General James Mujira to the committee. I beg to designate.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sectoral Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs be constituted as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Environment and Natural Resources.
Whip.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate the following to the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources. Honorable Dr. Otala Emmanuel, Chairperson. Honorable Nabeta Igeme Nathan, Deputy Chairperson. The proposed members are Honorable Achan Joyce Okeny, Honorable Apollo Yeri Ofono, Honorable Derek Orone, Honorable Magolo John Faith, Honorable Feta Geoffrey, Honorable John Bosco Ngoya, Honorable Wambede Seith, Honorable Gumia, Honorable Sendaola Christine Bukenya, Honorable Kazini Francis Chinumujuni, Honorable Akamba Paul, Honorable Bajire Henry, Honorable Agasa Juliet Bashisha, Honorable Eddie Kwezira, Honorable Kataliwa Donald, Honorable Tumwesije Josephat, Honorable Rohunda Alex, Honorable Sentai Muhammad, Honorable Albert Edmund Ariko, Honorable Semwanga Javira David. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Opposition.
Madam Speaker, I beg to designate the following on Committee of Environment and Natural Resources. The Honorable Kaya Christine Nachimwero, Chiboga, the Honorable Kanyige Robert Ronald Evans, Bukoto East, the Honorable Tebandeke Charles, Bale County, the Honorable Narule Aisha Kabanda, Butambala District, the Honorable Aoro Betty Ochan, Guru City, the Honorable Nyakato Asinas, Hoima City, the Honorable Kayondo Fred, Mukono South, and the Honorable Akena Jimmy James, Rila City. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Independence.
The Committee on Environment and Natural Resources, Right Honorable Speaker, the following members are designated. Honorable Adidwa Abdu of Bukoli South, Namaingo District. Honorable Mosila John, Bubulo East, Namisindwa District. Honorable Kamuntu Moses, Rwanda West. Honorable Bahireira Sylvia Tumwekwase, District Woman Representative Kamwenge. Honorable Musana Eric of Buyaga East County in Kagadi District, and the Honorable Ogwari Polycarp of Agule County in Parisa District. The Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Thank you. UPDF.
Right Honorable Speaker, to the Committee of Environment and Natural Resources, no member of UPDF has been designated. I submit.
Thank you. I put a question at the Sectoral Committee on Environment and Natural Resources. Be constituted as proposed. Those in favor say and the control and nay. Let's have it.
The Committee on Physical Infrastructure.
Fiscal infrastructure.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate the following to the Committee on Physical Infrastructure. Honorable Dan Chimosho, Chairperson. Honorable Tony Awany, Deputy Chairperson. The proposed members are Honorable James Kaberuka, Honorable Kabanda David, Honorable James Baba, Honorable Ayo Jennifer Nalukwago, Honorable Awas Sylvia Vicky, Honorable Henry Morris Chibalia, Honorable Bukenya Michael, Honorable Asaba N. Paul, Honorable Lokwang Hilary, Honorable Mbabazi Pascal, Honorable Agaba Aisha, Honorable Thembo Gideon Mujungu, Honorable Okwi Samuel, Honorable Bianyima Nathan, Honorable Okumu Gabriel, Honorable Nsegumire Muhammad Chibedi, Honorable Naigaga Mariam, Honorable Atiang Stella, Honorable Aber Lillian, Honorable Namuju Sisi, Honorable Sarah Opendi, Honorable Idi Isabire. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Position.
On the Committee on Fiscal Infrastructure, the following. members I designate. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Sazi Godfrey, Gomba East, the Honorable Nambeshe John Baptist, Manjia County, the Honorable Sekavira Dennis, Katikamu North, the Honorable Engineer Walimwezo Ronald, Nakawa East, the Honorable Kabusu Moses Chamuswa, the Honorable Sibambi Yusuf Maokota South, the Honorable Olobo Joanne Ochom Soroti.
She's a Lobo.
Alobo, yeah. Alobo Joanne. The Honorable Sebamala, Engineer Sebamala Richard, Bukoto Central, and the Honorable Engineer Okelo Nelson, Maruzi North. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Independence.
Physical Infrastructure Committee, Right Honorable Speaker. The Honorable Ebualu Jonathan of Soroti West, Soroti City. Honorable Okupa Elijah of Kasilo County, Serere District. Honorable Ndiomujenyi Roland, Ruchiga County and Ruchiga. Honorable Nsanja Patrick Kayongo, Ntenjeru South, Kayunga District. Honorable Remlicha Ibanda of Ntoroko County, Ntoroko District. Honorable Mugema Peter, Iganga Municipality, Iganga District. And the Honorable Acrobat Kiza Moses of Bwendera County in Bundibujo District. The Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Thank you. UPDF.
The Committee of Physical Infrastructure, Right Honorable Speaker, UPDF did not designate any member. I submit.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sectoral Committee on Fiscal Infrastructure be constituted as proposed. Those in favor sign the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Presidential Affairs.
Speaker, I beg to designate the following honorable members to the Presidential Affairs Committee. Honorable Ababiko Jessica, Chairperson. Honorable Kaba Shirira Naume, Deputy Chairperson. Honorable Buturu Nsaba, Honorable Naume Tibaju, Honorable Fadil Twala, Honorable Albert Lokoru, Honorable James Mamawi, Honorable Benjamin Kamukama, Honorable Francis Lorica Adome, Honorable Ellen Wandera Auma, Honorable Penina Businje, Honorable Derek Kabura, Honorable Michael Mawanda, Honorable Agnes Tucker, Honorable Otukol Sam, Honorable Obiga Rose, Honorable Kasolo Robert, Honorable Chiwanuka Kefa. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Position.
Right Honorable Speaker, on Presidential Affairs, I designate the following members. The Honorable Nyeko Derek of Makindye East, the Honorable Segri Nyamuhammad of Kawembe South, the Honorable Kawalia Abubakar, Rubaga North, the Honorable Sasaga Isaiah Johnny, Budadiri East, the Honorable Onekalit Dennis Amere, Kitukum Municipality, and the Honorable Okot Peter, Tochi County. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Independence.
Rule 187, sub-rule 1 and 2, and paragraph J to the Committee on Presidential Affairs. The Right Honorable Speaker designate Sira Stephen Itaza of Buhaguzi East, Chikube District. Honorable-
Asera.
Asera Stephen Itaza. Thank you, Right Honorable. The Honorable Achora Nancy, Woman Representative for Lamo. Honorable Kangwaje Stephen Rakanuma. The Honorable Chemtai Evelyn, District Woman Representative Buko.
The
County, Ntungamo District, the Right Honorable Speaker designates.
Thank you, UPDF.
To the Committee of Presidential Affairs, Right Honorable Speaker, allow me present Honorable Major General Henry Masiko. I beg to submit.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sectoral Committee on Presidential Affairs be constituted as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee on Public Service and Local Government.
Whip.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate the following to the Committee on Public Service and Local Government. Honorable Ojara Martin Mapenduzi, Chairperson. Honorable Apollot Christine, Deputy Chairperson. The proposed members are Honorable Lematia Ruth Molly, Honorable Alero Tom Azar, Honorable Chelimo Robin Paul, Honorable Buire Sanon, Honorable Mugabe Muzale Martin, Honorable Laura Kanu, Honorable Yovan Adrico, Honorable Robert Wandwasi, Honorable Jocelyn Kamate Neti, Honorable Aboli Agnes, Honorable Isaac Modoi, Honorable Harriet Businje, Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Opposition. Yes, Isaiah.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, maybe Mapenduzi could tell us why he really belongs.
He's an independent. He belongs, he's under the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda.
Then I could have expected his designation
to
come from the independent whip, not from the other side.
I am the whip of independence. Honorable members, all the independents belong to the Speaker. And if Honorable Mapenduzi resigned from being a chairperson on the other side, the House accepted. And maybe this side was generous enough to give him to chair because he's one of the best chairs we have. Opposition?
Madam Speaker, this parliament is a serious institution. That's why it is illegal and unconstitutional until the final year for members of parliament to change affiliation. So a member cannot be with the opposition today. Yes, tomorrow is with the NRM. The constitution says you can only change affiliation during the final year.
Has he changed the affiliation?
He was here working with us. Now he's being read the other side. So, Madam Speaker, you have a duty.
Honorable Semuju, you're working with me every day. Have you changed the affiliation?
Madam Speaker, I work with you as a speaker.
No, you work with. I've actually seen you with the government chief whip. Every day you're together. Have you changed?
No, we play football together. Madam Speaker,
Anyway, honorable members, Honorable Mapendusi is an independent. And being an independent, he chooses where he wants to be. In the 10th parliament, I was an independent. Honorable Semuju designated me to be in Kosase and chased me away. When he chased me away, I went and got my belongings somewhere. So for now, Honorable Mapendusi, congratulations.
Madam
Yes,
Speaker, for record, I did not chase you. You voluntarily left. In fact, one day we were shocked when we saw you with Mr.
Can
Museveni.
we designate? Maybe Mr. Museveni was a better man than you.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to designate the following members on the Committee of Public Service and Local Government. The Honorable Naruima Betty Eso of Wakiso District. The Honorable Wanga Jimmy, Njero Municipality. The Honorable Nambos Teddy, PG District. The Honorable Nakawe Juliet Kakande, Masaka District. The Honorable Katushabe Atikins, Okonzo West. The Honorable Emigu Julius Peter Ochero. Madam Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Whip, independence.
To the Committee on Public Service and Local Government, Right Honorable Speaker, the following members are designated. Honorable Omoding Emmanuel of Serere County, Serere District. Honorable Isingoma Patrick Mwesigwa of Hoima East Division, Hoima City. Honorable Mboizi Arthur Wako of Budaka County, Budaka District. Honorable Ojara Martin Mapenduzi, Bardege Laibi Division of Gulu City, and the Honorable Amero Susan, District Woman Representative Amria. The Right Honorable Speaker designates.
UPDF.
Madam Speaker, to the Committee of Public Service and Local Government, no member of UPDF has been designated. I submit.
Thank you. I put a question that the Sectoral Committee on Public Service and Local Government be constituted as proposed. Those in favor sign the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
On tourism, trade, and industry.
Last but not least, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate the following to the Committee on Tourism, Trade, and Industry. Honorable Mwene Mpaka Rwamirama, Honorable Lamwaka Catherine, Deputy Chairperson. The proposed members are Honorable Olobo James, Honorable Kamugo Pamela, Honorable Brenda Namukuta, Honorable Alfred Dedakasi. Chirabo Agnes, Honorable Were Godfrey Odero, Honorable Richard Kafabusa Muhumuza. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to designate.
Thank you. Thank you. Opposition.
Madam Speaker, on tourism, trade and industry, the following are the members I'm designating. The Honorable Simba Fred, Nachivuma Central, the Honorable Kayemba Geoffrey Solo, Ukomasim South, the Honorable Rutaya Geoffrey, Kakuto County, the Honorable Wakaima Musoke N, Nansana Municipality, the Honorable Kalwanga David L, Busuju County, the Honorable Kirumira Hassan, Katikamu South, the Honorable Isaiah Isaiah Aga, Jinja North, the Honorable Kelo Joffrey, Noya East. I beg to designate, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Dependents.
Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Rule 1871 and 2 and paragraph B, the following members are designated to the Tourism and Trade and Industry Committee. Honorable Kolwo Joseph Andrew of Toroma County, in Katakwi District. Honorable Atukwasa Rita, Woman Representative, Mbarara City. Honorable Mshemeza Elijah Dickens of Shema South, Shema District, and the Honorable Biakatonda Abdul, Workers Representative. The Right Honorable Speaker designates. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. UPDF.
To the Committee of Tourism, Trade and Industry, Madam Speaker, I beg to designate Honorable General Wilson Basum Badi. I designate.
Thank you. I put a question at the Sectoral Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industry be constituted as proposed. Those in favor say under control and nay. The ayes have it. Thank you.
Item 3, bills first reading. 3.1, the Foreign Exchange Amendment Bill 2023.
The Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Foreign Exchange Amendment Bill 2023 be read for the first time.
There is
I
a
beg to
procedure matter.
Madam Speaker, the procedure issue I'm raising pertains to the Rule 196 of our Rules of Procedure. As you may be aware, your office is already in receipt of my communication. Now that the holder of that office, of the leadership of one of our accountability committees on local government, the Honorable Mapenduzi, has shifted allegiance and even resigned. Madam Speaker, I beg for your indulgence to redesignate one of our members as the chairperson of that committee on local government, whose name I've already submitted to your office.
No problem.
I designate the Honorable Olanya Gilbert as the chairperson of the committee on the accountability committee on local government and public service.
Honorable members, Honorable Ojara Mapendusi and team will present all of their reports on Tuesday. The reports are ready, they're already in my office. They will present But Honorable, unless if you're handing over to the current leadership, which is okay. Those are reports of the House. Those in favor of Honorable Lanya's designation, say under the contrary, nay. Congratulations. Honorable members, Honorable Minister, Finance,
Madam Speaker, the rules are very clear on who can chair accountability committees and make presentation. Now that the Honorable Mapenduzi has joined NRM,
Honorable
can he
members,
still under the
the
rules
report
present
will
on
be
our behalf?
presented by the chair of the committee. We have a chair of the committee who is Gilbert Olanya. The report is going to be given to Gilbert, but he has to work together with the Mapenduzi to know what is there. Finance.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Foreign Exchange Amendment Bill 2023 be read for the first time. I beg to move.
Seconded by Honorable both the government chief whip, Honorable Katali, Faith, Solomon, Tourism City, Enos, Achan, Wanda, Avur. Thank you. You want to speak to your...
Madam Speaker, only to state that the bill is accompanied by the certificate of financial implications.
Thank you. The bill is here. Pursuant to Rule 129 of the Rules of Procedure, the bill stands referred to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for perusal and report back.
Item 3.2, the Financial Institutions Amendment Bill 2023.
Minister of Finance.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Financial Institutions Amendment Bill 2023 be read for the first time. I beg to move.
Seconded. Seconded by Nandutu. Honorable Nandutu, read by the Prime Minister, Government Chief Whip, Chair Finance by the whole House. Pursuant to Rule 129, the bill is referred to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. And honorable members, as you heard on the State of Nation Address, this bill is an integral process of operationalizing Islamic banking. It's basically meant to operationalize Islamic banking. Therefore, we need this bill back in the House in the shortest time possible.
Item 3.3, the Excise Duty Amendment Number 2 Bill 2023.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the Excise Duty Amendment Bill Number 2 2023 be read for the first time. I beg to move.
Seconded. Seconded by Honorable Kasai, Public Service, Senide, Honorable Senide, Emidi, Honorable Akamba, Honorable Muma, Rose, Lukoluo, Okot, Professor Netasile, Opolot. Now that shows you that I know everybody's name. Pursuant to Rule 129, I refer this to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
Item three,
Except Semuju. Semuju also stood up. Yes.
item 3.4, the Stamp Duty Amendment Bill 2023.
Stamp duty.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the Stamp Duty Amendment Bill 2023 be read for the first time.
That's seconded. Seconded by Isma, Honorable Amos, Max, by the whole House. This is referred to Finance, Planning and Economic Development pursuant to Rule 129.
Item 3.5, the Income Tax Amendment Number 2 Bill 2023.
Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move a motion that the Income Tax Amendment Bill Number 2 of 2023 be read for the first time.
Seconded. I can see Brandon Chemongesi. Seconded by Government Chief Whip, by Agriculture, Honorable Rabirama, and Public Service. Referred to, and the Royal Guards are here, their chios, the Polots. Referred to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
Item 3.6, the Value Added Tax Amendment Number 2 Bill 2023.
Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move a motion that the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill Number 2 for 2023 be read for the first time.
Is it seconded? I can see energy there. Honorable Baka, Honorable workers, all the workers are standing. Kato, Werike, Gender, by the whole House. This is referred to Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development pursuant to Rule 129 of the Rules of Procedure.
Madam Speaker, I wish to confirm that all the bills I have presented are accompanied by the certificate of financial implications, and I beg to lay it on the table.
Please lay the veterinary.
Item 3.7, the Veterinary Practitioners Bill 2023.
Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to move that the Veterinary Practitioners Bill 2023 be read for the first time.
Thank you. Is it seconded? I know I know, so to second first. All the cattle keepers are seconding. I am referring this to the Committee of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries pursuant to Rule 129. Please lay it on table.
Madam Speaker, I want also to to inform you that I have read the bill has got the certificate of financial implications, and I beg to lay it on the table.
Thank you, please, lay.
Item 4, laying of papers. Item 4A, the 25th annual report on the state of human rights and freedoms in Uganda.
Parliamentary Commissioner.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the 25th annual report on the state of human rights and freedoms in Uganda 2022. I beg to lay.
Pursuant to Rule 1851C of the Rules of Procedure, this is referred to the Committee of Human Rights for perusal and report back to the House.
Item 4B, report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on a study visit to Kenya on Hass, avocado and macadamia growing and processing.
Honorable members, this report is tabled pursuant to Rule 33 of the Rules of Procedure. I will accord the chairperson time to report on their findings, the lessons they learned from there, and what recommendations they give, and what they think we should also do to board relief. And after that, it will be deposited in the library for everyone's consumption. Yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I beg to present the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on the study visit to Kenya on nuts, avocado, macadamia growing and processing. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, Article 91 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Rules 156, 159, 187, and 189 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament enjoin committees with the authority and power to, among others, research, investigate, and carry out oversight functions with respect to the ministries, departments, and
Please limit yourself to Rule 33.
Most obliged, Right Honorable Speaker, I go straight to the recommendations and lessons learned. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, after the visit by the committee, these were the lessons that the committee learned. Right Honorable Speaker, on sustainability, the committee learned that most countries in the world have chosen avocado as one of the enterprises to support and have included it in their country's integrated development plans. Uganda has also adopted it, and that is why we have it as one of the priority commodities in the NDP3. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee also learned that smallholder farmers in Kenya account for over 70% of all farming activities, including as avocado, that owns less than 2 acres of land. Of course, in Uganda, Right Honorable Speaker, we have just started as a country and we are moving. And also, Right Honorable Speaker, through NADS, the country has been able to avail
as avocado seedlings to the potential farmers. I go straight to the recommendations. Right, Honorable Speaker, the following were the recommendations by the committee. That government should promote as avocado growing because it is on high demand internationally. The demand for as avocado is growing at a rate of 13% per year, yet the production is still growing at only 10%. This represents a gap of 3% between production and demand. Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, as avocado farming has environmental benefits, as planting more trees help to battle deforestation, which causes irregular dry seasons, long drought periods, and unpredictable heavy rains. Right, Honorable Speaker, the second recommendation by the committee was that Ministry of Agriculture.
This procedure matter.
Madam Speaker, I'm sorry to rise on a matter of procedure, but right Honorable Speaker, this is my maiden speech for this session. And I really wish to pay attention just like other members, but we are so much inconvenienced by the noise outside here. Madam Speaker, is it procedurally right for us to continue this way? Thank you.
The way. Please go ahead as the whip does his job. Go ahead as the whip does his job.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the other recommendation the committee came up with, that Ministry of Agriculture should inspect and certify nurseries to supply avocado seedlings. This is so the properly grafted seedlings will give a good yield according to the findings of the committee. The committee also recommends that government embraces as avocado growing and plan to have nuclear farmers and demonstration gardens, preferably at all regional levels in Uganda, so that farmers in the regions are able to access the as avocado seedlings. The committee also recommended that government uses as avocado farming and marketing as a strategy for job creation and poverty alleviation through value addition. The committee also recommends that government increases the budget through NADS and local governments to increase planting materials, capacity building, storage, and value addition. The committee also recommends that MAIF should focus on the capacity development of farmers by offering training to farmers and value chain players on aspects of crop management, quality requirements, marketing, processing, finance management, and linkages. The committee also recommends that MAIF should promote reputable partners to minimize failure and sustain flow of inputs. Farmers should be supported to grow the right varieties for a specific market. The committee recommends that government supports producer cooperatives to promote as avocado value chain. The committee further recommends that government sets up production and marketing standards in line with global marketing standards. The committee further recommends that government through MAIF should train farmers on how to improve production using older trees in demonstration farms, which are critical in imparting practical skills to farmers for increased production. Right, Honorable Speaker, the committee further recommends that MAIF should set up post-harvest treatment facilities as quality starts from farm to market, that they are key in ensuring safe handling of the fruit. Right, Honorable Speaker, the rest of the recommendation are on macadamia, which is also a new crop under the parish development model. The committee recommends government together with the private sector promotes macadamia growing. The crop needs swift action that the private sector is able to take up. The committee further recommends that government establishes a regulatory body to certify seedlings. A grafted crop produces a yield in 5 years, while the non-grafted plant can take up to 10 years to yield. The committee further recommends for government to encourage farmers to belong to groups and associations to avoid exploitation by the middlemen. The committee further recommends for government to encourage farmers to use agronomic practices, including organic fertilizers, in order to have yields that meet world standards. The committee recommends that government develops conducive policies to encourage the private sector to invest in the macadamia industry. The committee further recommends for government to provide assorted subsidized inputs to farmers to increase production. The committee also made cross-cutting observations that many Ugandans attempting to enter the avocado and macadamia growing business are finding it difficult to buy and access the expensive seedlings. A seedling for avocado is sold at between 5,000 and 8,000, which is high to an ordinary Ugandan. An acre requires 166 seedlings, translating into 830,000 shillings per acre for planting, which many farmers may not afford. The committee also observed that some farmers are reported to be plucking the top parts of the trees to grab them with local avocado. This is more lucrative than selling the actual fruit. Furthermore, one cannot plant the seed of the harvested avocado because it would not produce an actual avocado. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that government subsidizes the price of avocado and macadamia seedlings to make them viable to farmers, since the market price of these seedlings is largely unaffordable. The committee further recommends for government to set up regional nurseries and processing centers nearer to the farmer to facilitate market access and reduce losses from perishability. The committee finally recommends that government promotes the export market to enhance our national and international competitiveness in avocado and macadamia. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I beg to report this copy of the report is in the library, and members, it was uploaded in your iPads. You can access the report and act accordingly by leading by example and growing avocado and macadamia. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Item.
The report is very, very clear. What the committee is saying, this is a lucrative business that you should go and you should lead by example. You will not debate here, how do we get the seedlings and whichever, go and plant avocado. Go and plant avocado and act as examples to your locals. I encourage the people to plant avocado. As I speak for me, I have over 100 acres of avocado. And I learned it from when they came back from their trip. So, Professor, you just go and plant avocado. And next item. The report is in the library. Next item.
Item 4C, report of the delegation to the United Nations 2023 Water Conference.
Honorable members, this report, like any other report, is presented under Rule 33. And you will get a report from Honorable Kugonza, Emily.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. a delegation of 7 members of parliament and under instruction from the office of the speaker participated in the United Nations 2023 Water Conference. And I hereby beg to lay a report titled Report of the Delegation to the United Nations 2023 Water Conference in New York, held from 22nd to 24th March 2023. I beg to lay.
Thank you. The report will be in the library. Get time and look at whatever report is in the library. Learn to have a reading culture.
Item 4D, the Financial Institutions Revision of Minimum Capital Requirements Instrument 2022.
Honorable members, the two statutory instruments to be tabled are aimed at operationalizing the law that we have just passed under the microfinance. That is the Islamic banking. And they are looking at the minimum capital requirement by the central bank. And the Minister of Finance is going to lay it on table. And Minister?
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay on table the Financial Institutions Revision of Minimum Capital Requirements Instrument for 2022. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Pursuant to Rule 315 of the Rules of Procedure, the statutory instrument is referred to Committee of Finance and should be considered as soon as possible.
Item 4E, the Microfinance Deposit Taking Institutions Revision of Minimum Capital Requirements Instrument 2022.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay on table the Microfinance Deposit Taking Institutions Revision of Minimum Capital Requirements Instrument 2022. I beg to lay.
Thank you. This is still referred to the Committee of Finance for expeditious consideration and report back to the House.
Item 8, the Supplementary Schedule number 1 for the financial year 2022-2023, Committee of Supply.
Honorable members, as you recall, on 27th April 2023, the House supplied expenditure, and that was Part B was left. That is the 3%. Pursuant to Article 156 of the Constitution, Section 25 of the Public Finance Management Act, and Rule 154 of the Rules of Procedure, we will consider this as a retrospective expenditure that has been done. The money was spent. You approved a part of the supplementary and left part of it. Next time, if you're to refuse, you refuse the whole schedule. Don't do things in a piecemeal. You're even at committee level. Now that we're at committee level, we are going back to committee. And I want to ask the clerks to make sure that you capture all the documents, that the figures, the items, the votes in the Hansard, because it's money that is spent. We are going to supply a block figure, because I am not going to start reading something that was spent and you had already passed part of the item. So we are going to supply and have the item first. Government Chief Whip, can we have your team really outside? Okema,
Committee of Supply. Recurrent expenditure under supplementary schedule 1 for the financial year 2022-2023, a total amount of 874,339,200,924 shillings.
I put a question that is that the total sum of that has been read be considered as a recurrent for supplementary expenditure number 1 for financial year 2022-2023. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Total develop.
Yes, there's a procedure.
Madam Chair, I would like to get guidance from you. When this House sat and considered what at the time was baptized Part B of the schedule, I at that time raised the question here whether it was actually proper at that stage to segregate a schedule and deal with some part and leave the other. At that time, the presiding officer in his wisdom said it was correct. Now that we are processing it now, I want to understand what happens to the part that we passed. Are we amending? Was a new supplementary introduced, addendum and a schedule, so that we can have proper anchorage in terms of the legislation we are dealing with? Secondly, also, Madam Speaker, this House cannot run away from dealing with any matter that the executive has brought, whether we like it or not. But I also want you to guide us. When you say that this supplementary has already been expended and we are not going to change anything, is that the correct position that this House now, because another supplementary will come, so that as members of Parliament and myself, I know that I actually have no role now to play when it comes with supplementary. This must, because even the 3%, Madam Speaker, if I can address you on the questions of law, I think and I believe that I am backed by law that it is not correct that the government has unfettered powers to expend the 3% limit. If we are dealing with retrospective approval, the conditions must be satisfied. One, that expenditure must have been legal. It must have been lawful. If it is not lawful and you have expended it on something that violates the law, it falls squarely. Secondly, that expenditure must be justified. That if Parliament was actually sitting and deliberating on that item, Parliament would have ordinarily passed it. Lastly, that expenditure must have been incurred. Actual incurring of that cost. There are some items that are here that have not yet been incurred. But the minister wants to mislead this House as if it has been expended. Madam Speaker, this is very dangerous. It is very dangerous for the minister to come and mislead this House that we have already spent. Because if we are to challenge you on this, I can point them out. I don't want to open it now, but I can. So the minister should actually come and tell us that this 3%, the purported 3%, is not actually spent.
Honorable Minister, I am not allowing a debate on this thing. Honorable members, we are completing what was started. We are finishing what was started. That's why when we're passing the appropriation, we had to pass only what was passed at that time. Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I would like to address my mind to the first issue Honorable Odur raised about what we passed when in the wisdom of the House decided to pass Part B and left out Part A, which was within 3%. The question of what happens, I presented to this Parliament one schedule which was categorized into two. Part A of the expenditures which were within the 3%, and Part B was over and above 3% and required parliamentary approval. What we are doing now has this effect. If Parliament approves Part A of the 3%, we shall consolidate it with the Part B and have our full schedule regularized by Parliament. I thank you.
Thank you. Development.
Madam Speaker, I want also the executive to clarify on the provisions of Article 159, sub-article 5 and 6, Section 39 and 40 of the Public Finance Management Act, and our own rules of procedure, Rule 155. Regarding the loan figure, this article and the rule says that where government intends to lend or to borrow, it must be moved on a separate motion, and that motion should be referred to the relevant committee. In this supplementary, there is a figure that the government intends to lend out. The terms and conditions of the lending has not even been brought to this House. The repayment schedule has not been brought to this House. These are matters of law and they are very clear, Madam. Should we proceed and now purport to ratify that lending, and yet this House has not followed its own rules? Secondly, Madam Speaker, the chairperson of the committee presented a report here, which report was actually adopted. In the report itself, there are expenditures that the committee rejected. And we adopted that report already. By adopting that report with those recommendations, rejecting certain provisions in the House, how come then at the end, we just proceed to approve the schedule as it is? Yet this House sat and actually approved the recommendations by the report. Aren't we now shooting ourselves, hanging ourselves actually, that after we have approved, we now turn around and do something else? Madam Speaker, I want to persuade you that the figures that, at least at the very minimum, the budget committee had rejected should not be part of this, at the very minimum, because the House decided on that.
Honorable Minister. And let me hear from the Minister.
Madam Speaker, what we are seeking for approval now are the expenditures which we incurred within 3%. We have had back and forth, and we have labored to explain. And Madam Speaker, our prayer is that we approve our schedule as we presented it, because the monies were already spent, and they were spent on activities which are known. I want to persuade this House that we approve the 3% as I presented it to you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yeah. Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, one, the money being spent does not take away our obligation for approval. The Constitution is very, very clear that for an item to enter the appropriation bill must be approved by Parliament. And our duty at this moment is to ensure that much as the PFM gives the minister powers to spend under 3%, the firewall to examine, to ensure that that money did the purpose for which it was intended and its value for money is with this House. That's why we are enjoined with special powers at this moment to reject any figure that we feel does not meet the standards set by the PFM for what a supplementary should be. In the wisdom of the budget committee, we looked at various items and found certain items where the minister did not follow the law. He actually abused the law. And he has been doing it with impunity. I've been here for quite some time and in the budget committee. And at each very year, we close our eye and say, the minister, get out with it. It can't be forever. There comes a time, Right Honorable Speaker, when Parliament must exercise its power to curtail this impunity. And this is the day. That's why I concur with Jonathan that at least in the minimum, I questioned many items in the minority report, which was not rejected, which was adopted. But at least in the minimum, items where even the majority committee concurred with the minority committee should not be included at this time. This will stand this Parliament in good state, and history will judge us fairly.
Can we hear from the chair of the committee? Honorable members, and I advised the Honorable Chibombe last time that we need to bring an amendment such that we know what we should spend on the 3% so that we regulate. If we leave it open the way it is, the law is not there to say spend on this and spend on that. Let's bring an amendment, and you had promised to bring it.
Right Honorable Speaker, for the case, I've already drafted the motion. It's with your office. That one I've done. We're only waiting for you to allocate us time. Even if today you want me to move that to seek leave of Parliament, I'm ready with it.
You go and bring and seek leave after we have passed it.
But that being the case, we cannot cover this impunity because we are going to amend the law.
The Constitution provides for you to meet any punishment, and I think Honorable Basalra would agree, should be defined, specified by law. I wanted to seek clarification from Honorable Chivumbi. We may not like what the Minister of Finance is doing, but then we acknowledge that there is a need for amendment. The guidance of the chairperson, the Honorable Chairperson of this House, is that there is need to specify what these monies are supposed to be spent on, the 3%. Where it is not left on the determination, is not left to the minister to do and choose on what to spend on. Now, I wanted to seek clarification. Would it not be fair to resolve the ambiguity in favor of a misbehaving minister, if you want to say so, so that this, until a specific amendment is made, we would not have the liberty
and latitude to sanction, but to be fair to ourselves, that we can be very much more cordial, and we stop this by bringing a specific provision that would really help. This just, I thought, should go through the microphone, but I share your concerns.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable members.
Right, Honorable Chair.
Honorable members, and I want to plead with the House. What is being raised is very critical. Much as we have given you the latitude to spend 3%, you should be able to know how to spend. Don't spend on what has been rejected. Don't spend on what has been rejected. You spend money on what has value for money. And what Honorable Duru was raising is something that is very important. We need to check ourselves. But even when we are checking ourselves, this is the first supplementary I'm passing. Honorable Chivumbi, and I'm begging, I'm pleading with you, let's pass this supplementary, and then the next supplementaries will not pass it. We will not pass it if they don't do what the House requires. I am not putting, I have said this is something that has been ongoing. We have had meetings every day, almost with the shadow. And we agreed as we begin the session, we pass this thing and we start on a clean note.
Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, I think even the law as it is, Article 156, for which my land, no, I'm not a land friend. I've never been to a school of law. A land colleague, I came there to see you those days. Yes, I was in the university with him. I was there to see him. Of course, the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, is very clear. Even when, before you even go to the Act, the Article 56 is very clear. It spells out that under the 3%, actually there's no 3% in the Constitution. It spells out clearly that for any monies that will be spent, Parliament will have to approve. Now the dilemma, Right Honorable Speaker, is that Parliament spoke in a budget process and rejected expenditure items and told the Minister of Finance, don't go ahead and spend on this money. On day 1 of July, they went ahead and disregarded the decision of Parliament. Now, even under when we want to be human and appeal, and this is not the first time it happens. It has happened over and over and over and over again. It has stretched our sympathy beyond a point of satiety, and we are saying enough is enough. Therefore, we stand firmly to reject any expenditure which the majority committee rejected. I'm willing to compromise. I'm willing to compromise on expenditures for which I had objected. We go with the uniform decision of the committee, of the budget committee and of finance. All expenditures which was rejected by a majority report should not be included in the Appropriations Act. And my friend, the law speaks volumes about what to do. That officer will be held personally responsible for the loss, even when he has left office.
We have had Asman. Let me first hear from Asman.
Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi did indicate that the motion is ready. I'm just concerned, Right Honorable Speaker, with the reports that we read arising out of the NRM retreat, to the effect that they will no longer be supporting private members to move motions. A very good development from Mwanga Chivumbi and many of us who are engaged in bringing private members' bills. At the other side,
Honorable, a resolution of Chankwans has no effect on the House. Our issue, ours on a private bill is enshrined in the Constitution, Article 94.
Most obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
Recurrent, I'm rereading recurrent expenditure, a total recurrent expenditure of 1,222,531,553,505 shillings only.
I put a question that a total of 1,222,531,553,505 shillings be appropriated as a recurrent expenditure for supplementary schedule number 1 for financial year 2022-2023. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Total development expenditure, 211,638,832,447 shillings only.
I put a question that a total sum of 211,638,832,447 be appropriated as development expenditure under supplementary schedule number 1 for financial year 2022-2023. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
The total of both recurrent and development is 1,434 billion.
You know, when you want to shout, you know, in Soroti City, that place there is a discotheque.
A total of both recurrent and development of 1,434,170,385,952 shillings.
I put a question that a grand total of 1,434,170,385,952 shillings be appropriated as supplementary expenditure within the 3% under the supplementary expenditure number 1 for financial year 2022-2023. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Isaiah, I will give you procedure. Just hold on, I go back to my seat.
Madam Chair, I beg to move a motion that the House do resume and the Committee of Supply reports thereto.
I put a question that the House resumes and the Committee of the whole House reports there too. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of Supply.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of Supply has considered the supplementary schedule number 1, Part A, under 3% and passed it with no amendments.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of Supply.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to move on a point of procedure. I want to move to recommit. And I appeal to this House for a recommittal. My recommittal is on 2 items. It is on the 279 billion for ATIAC and 48 billion, 274.9 for ATIAC and 48 for loan for Munyonyo. And the reasons, if you permit me, for a commit on 2 items. ATIAC is very clear, Right Honorable Speaker. We have given ATIAC a colossal sum of money now mounting to over 500 billion, 600 billion. But to the dismay of this country, and I have reports from area MPs who come from that part of the country, there is nothing to show that there is value for money. We have hemorrhaged this country to that extent. I did a survey. Abidi Alam has set up a sugar factory and a sugar plantation at a cost of 52 million US dollars. Now here we are, having pumped almost 600 billion. There is no one single bag of sugar from ATIAC. And this is, ATIAC gets a first call on every vote under 3%. So I want to recommit that for us to help this country going forward, we exclude the money for ATIAC and we exclude the 48 billion for Munyonyo, because the other day I was in Munyonyo. You look at the small plot of land that has been sold to government of Uganda. Our children will ask all of us how we were and what we were doing, what kind of house, sat on a very day and approved that money. That's why I beg you, Right Honorable Speaker, that we move to recommit. I move a motion.
Honorable Chivumbi is moving a motion that you second it.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. This parliament approved money for a hospital in Ruoa. We're almost at a gunpoint that we have made a commitment for Pineti. Now,
did you see a gun here?
I am using the language, the meaning
Use
in
a
the language.
parliamentary language.
Madam Speaker, I am looking at the meaning in the language I am using. Then we have another ATIAC here, another lady, Amina. Maybe this parliament should interest itself in finding the relationship between the president who is proposing these sums of money with these women.
There's a procedural matter. Procedural matter.
Right, Honorable Chairperson, are we proceeding well when you have a motion for the recommittal ably put by Honorable Chivumbi, and right now the alleged seconder is actually debating? Are we proceeding well?
Honorable members, the Honorable Chivumbi is saying we recommit, we remove the money, If you are in favor of us removing the money, I'm going to put a question. If you're not in favor of recommittal, you say nay. Are we together? If you are in favor of recommittal, you say yes. No, I am. Second, I was diverting us. Honorable members, I put a question that this House recommits to expenditure items as proposed by Honorable Chivumbi. Those in favor say aye and contrary nay. Stop shouting for me. The nays have it.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move a motion that the report from the Committee of Supply be adopted.
I put a question that the House adopts the report of the Committee of Supply. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I want to thank you so much. Tomorrow, the Lady Justice Arach Amoko will be brought to the House. Have a blessed evening. House adjourned to 2 tomorrow.